Hello everyone. First of all, I want to wish you a very happy Navratri and I hope you all are doing well. Let me introduce myself. I'm Omkar Shinde, your host for this particular interview. I want to welcome you all to the 11th episode of interview series brought to you by Industry Inspire Talk. Talking about interview series, it is a series where we invite people who have interned at companies and converted that internship opportunity into a full-time offer. Our guest for today's interview is Raja Rahul. He interned with IBM for 6 months and also got a pre-placement offer from them. So the entire video is all going to be about Rahul's journey as a student to participating in coding competitions, hackathons, to publishing papers, to getting that internship opportunity to work for IBM, and finally getting placed as a full-time software development engineer for them. So the whole video is going to be interesting. Make sure to stick around. I hope that you learn something out of this video, which will help you in a specific career as well. So without wasting further time, let's proceed towards the interview. Hello, Rahul, and welcome to the 11th episode of interview series brought to you by Industry Inspire Talk. How are you feeling right now?
It was great to be here, and thanks, Omkar, for the opportunity. I've been watching your series on YouTube, and it was quite inspiring. And I wish I had something like this when I was in my college.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you for sharing your response, Rahul. And so let me go to the first question, okay? And let's start with the interview. Okay. So I want to ask you, tell me something about yourself.
So about myself, I am a software developer at IBM, and my passion towards coding is something that I had when I was in high school. So that's how I came into this computer science and technology. And something non-technical, I'm an introvert. This will be my longest conversation I ever had till date, but let's hope it goes well.
Okay, so that's great. So, like, the audience will be knowing right now what you are doing. Okay, so let me go to the college part. Okay, so you completed your engineering degree from Lovely Professional University. Okay, so I want to
Yes.
ask you, can you describe your college life?
Yeah, college life at LPU is simply awesome. You will have a lot of freedom over there. You get to do whatever you like. You can enjoy. You can learn. You have the freedom. On the weekdays, you have to be little focused on your college, and weekends it's entirely for you. There will be nothing, no activities or such. It's all up to you. You can go. The infrastructure is awesome, and you get to meet a lot of people over there from different countries and different states. So you get to learn different cultures. The culture might be different from where you are living. So it has been amazing, and you get all the facilities, all the infrastructure, all the computer labs, everything. It's free for you to go whenever you want. So it was amazing.
That's great, and thanks for sharing that experience. Okay, so now I would like to jump to the computer science part. Okay, so you did your computer science degree from Lovely Professional University. So can you describe your passion towards computer science? Why do you love computer science so much?
Yeah, to answer this question, I will jump a little back when I was in high school. So I used to have a computer, old computer, but I used to watch movies and games. I used to play games and all. But whenever I used to do something on that computer, I used to have this feeling like I used to be curious, like how it is happening, how I was able to play games and all. I always wanted to look and explore what's happening in the background, but I was not able to, due to some reasons, I was not able to explore when I was in my high school and all. But once I completed my intermediate, I felt like this is the chance, this is the time I need to go and explore and follow my passion, which is like on technology and computer science. And that's how I came into this field. And once I got into there was never looking back. Whatever I have learned till date is just what I wanted from my childhood.
That's excellent. Okay, so you had an interest from like your childhood. Okay, so most of the people have the interest from their childhood. Okay, so some are good at maths. Okay, some are good at problem solving. Okay, so you developed that interest over time. Okay, and you followed it as a passion, and that's great. Now I would like to go to the next question. Like, what do you prefer the most? Okay, is it project-based learning or is it what you can say traditional learning, the one we have in schools, colleges? What do you prefer the most?
So I will not say what I will prefer, but as a as you grow up, it has to be transferred from traditional based learning to project based learning. Yes, traditional based learning is very important, but until certain level, like until high school, it's traditional based learning is what put you in front, and it will help you learn all the things. Uh, but once you reach certain point in your life, you should go towards the project based learning, and there you have the freedom to learn whatever you want and whatever you want to implement, right? So traditional, it has to be a mix of both, but you have to be choosing it wisely. Traditional based learning is what gives you the basics and basic understanding of the whatever field that you're taking, and once you have the basics, you should take the project based learning.
Okay, that's a wonderful answer. So I was expecting you would select one, okay, but you just connected both the dots and you just made an answer. So that's great. Okay, so that was an answer I was expecting as well. Okay, so now I would like to go to the next question. I want to ask you, which is your favorite programming language?
uh, it's undoubtedly JavaScript. It used
Okay,
to be Python when I used to be in my college, but as the time goes on, you get to know new things and your interest changes.
okay, so yeah, so JavaScript is your favorite programming language. So I want to ask you, why do you love that programming language?
Yeah. So as I told before, I used to love Python when I used to be in my college, because I did not have much exposure on JavaScript, to be frank. So until my uh, third semester or so, I was mostly into Python and all. But once I got into this web development and I explored what JavaScript can do in very less amount of time, uh, it just kept growing on me, and I started picking up JavaScript and React. And once I got to know what it can do in very easy manner, I just love it for the simplicity and the complex things that you can build with JavaScript.
That's great. Okay, so that's amazing. Basically, so you had a passion for computer science. You were much into Python, JavaScript, web development kind of thing. You are more into development. Okay, so that is what connected you with computer science. That made you feel that computer science is the right fit for me because you actually had interest. Okay, now like I'll go to the project part. Okay, so did you build any technical projects in your engineering career?
Yes, a lot actually. So the curriculum in LPU is in such a way that every semester you have to build some project. Okay, whatever there used to be one main programming language that you learn every semester, and you need to build a project at the end of the semester on that language. So with C++, there is something called library management, and when I learned HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, I built an e-commerce site. And with Java also, there is something like report card generation. And with Python and machine learning, there was image segmentation, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Along with the curriculum that I had, I built some side projects with React and JavaScript.
Okay, so I want to like ask you, can you dig into deep? Okay, can you give me details about the project? Okay.
Yeah, sure. I can do that. So I will not talk much about on C, C++, and all. I will talk about the web development project that I've done. So basically, we had a the curriculum was very basic. So we get to learn HTML, we get to learn CSS, we get to learn JavaScript right from the scratch. Okay, that is my first what we say introduction to JavaScript, and that is when I fall in love with that. So I got a project on e-commerce. So we built a e-commerce site that what we say that is clothing store. Okay, cloth store that is just like Myntra. Okay, but it's not as good as that. It was just a basic project. So we have a catalog of products, and users can go and search for that products, and they can actually go and buy the products, but the product will not be shipped for you.
Okay, so that is a project which you did, and rest projects were on C, C++, and Java. Okay,
Yes.
so you were like into computer science. You built projects in college. Okay, so now I want to ask you. I went to your LinkedIn profile and I saw a lot of online courses which you did. Okay, you did a lot of online certifications. So this question is related to that. I want to ask you: does certificates from online courses hold any value in the job market? What do you feel?
To be frank, I don't feel they hold any value. If you have projects, no one is going to look at your certificates. If you have projects in your resume, if you have projects in your portfolio, and if you are able to showcase them during the interview, no one is going to ask you what certificates you have, what courses you have done, and no one is going to care about that. But the courses are there only for your personal development. That will help in just I told. This is what help you in learning. This is what we call traditional based learning. During these courses, you'll get to learn the basics. You'll get to learn how what all you can build and how these are built. And once you get that, it's all up to you. Whatever projects you have done, those will be the value in the industry.
Okay, so according to you, project-based learning is like implemented when the base is clear. Is that what you feel?
Yes, you need to have the basics of computer science well. Let's say, I will give a simple example. Let's say you want to build something like Spotify. Okay, in order to build that, with just knowing CSS, JavaScript, you will not be able to build that. You need to know how the networking works, how Spotify uses peer-to-peer networking, and all of that. All of these you will get during the traditional based learning. Once you have that, it will be very easy for you to pick up project-based learning, and you will be able to build whatever you like.
Okay, that's great. And about the online courses also, it doesn't like have any value in the job market. Okay, so it's just for gaining knowledge. Okay, but the more you build projects, the more you showcase your portfolio. Okay, that makes you stand out from the rest of the candidates, and that's great. Okay,
Exactly.
so thanks for sharing that advice. Okay, it would really help the audience. And now I would like to go to the experiences part. Okay, I would like to ask you, describe your experience as a jury award winner in IBM Challenge 2008.
That was my first win in a hackathon. So before that, I was participating in many hackathons inter college. So I used to stand out. I mean, I used to go to top 5, top 10, and all, but I never won one. But when I came across this challenge, me and my team felt like this is the right choice we should make. This is where we need to prove ourselves, and we did it. And it was a great experience, to be frank. We had midterm exams and all at that time, but still we were able to work hard out of that, and we were able to put a decent product, decent project at the end. And surprisingly, IBM liked that, and they offered us jury award. I learned a lot of things in this experience. As I told, project-based learning will help you do whatever you like once you have the basics.
Okay, so like I want to ask you about your project which you presented at the jury award. What was it about?
Yeah, there were multiple problem statements. We picked something called movie data analysis. So there was some data set that is provided by IBM, and we did a lot of me and my team. When I say we, I was referring to my team. Okay, so we did a lot of data analysis, and we did image processing and all. So the end, I will explain you the end product, how it works. So if you say a user can enter their query in a simple English, and let's say what is the lead role in the movie, whatever movie, it's 3 Idiots, let's say. So what we did is we did natural language processing. Whenever user enters a query, we did natural language processing, and it will fetch the results from the data set, and it will show what all results it can give for that particular question. In similar way, we did for image processing as well. Instead of just text, user can give an image, and we did image processing and image recognition, and we found out the movie name from that, and we were able to give all the results that we have from the data set. Whatever we were able to extract from the data set, we showed it in a neat way using data visualization.
That's pretty much interesting. Okay, so like thanks for sharing that. And like getting like into the hackathon which was organized by IBM and actually winning it takes a lot of effort and also a lot of hard work. And like just like you said, you had a practice on projects, like you did a lot of projects, you were passionate about things, and most important thing is you know how to work with a team. Okay, so you were good at team building, and your team was also dedicated enough, they were deserving enough, and you guys like did well in the hackathon, and you guys, what you can say, you guys won it. Okay, and that's a great thing.
Yeah.
And like just like it is in 2018, but right now we are having this conversation. So I want to take that initiative to thank you. Okay. So it is like congratulate you basically for the contributions you've been making right now and you have made in the past. Okay. And that's a very good thing, Rahul. And I want to go to the next thing. So you also had a paper which was published, and the topic for the paper was securing websites from attacks. Okay, so it is somewhat related to cybersecurity. Like I get it from the title as well. But I want you to go into depth and tell our audience what is this about.
Okay. So this is when this I have written when I was in my second year. That is when I picked up React and JavaScript, and I was doing projects on my own. When I was doing, I was researching a lot, and how there was in my project there was one login form, and users can log in. So there I was researching and how we can protect it so that our data will not be lost. So that is when I came up across these attacks and all. So I would not say I'm an expert in cybersecurity, but I will that article will give a detailed view. Like, let's say you are building some websites and you want to protect your website from attacks. That is when that article can be useful for you. There are people better than me who are good at cybersecurity, but I'm not good at it. But that article gives a list of attacks basically a list of attacks that you can that usually happens on websites where you have login forms and all. So all these attacks are possible, and there were also preventive measures that I've added at the bottom that I have followed personally in order to protect my website. So there are something like DDoS attacks and how you can protect it, how can you use third-party services like Cloudflare and all to protect these attacks, and also cross-site scripting and all. It is pretty much simple. Don't think it's more into cybersecurity. You can go through it. It's pretty simple.
Yeah, but it's okay contribution into cybersecurity. Like, even if it is in the beginner level, even if you are guiding the beginners about how to get started, like if you are giving them an idea about the attacks which are going to happen, it would actually help them. It would actually make them aware, because you will get a lot of things on the internet, but proper content and proper format, you like just like the way you published a paper or you published an article, it would really help the audience or maybe people who are entering into cybersecurity. So it would really help them, and that's a very good thing. Okay, so you have been doing a lot of things on college. So up till now, the entire interview, I am really enjoying and like learning a lot of new things about you, and that's a very good thing. You are doing all this bunch of things on college. Okay, and you also like got placed in IBM, and I want to go to that part. Okay, I want to come to that part. I want to come to that experience where we discuss about the IBM thing, and I'm also really excited, and so is the audience. Okay, so now I want to ask you, how did you get this internship opportunity to work for IBM?
It might be a little surprising for the audience, but the way I got this internship is through the hackathon only. As I mentioned before, I won the jury award in that hackathon, and the IBM were pretty pleased, and they were pretty much surprised with whatever we have done in that entire project. And we had something like a presentation where we showcased our project to fellows at IBM, and there was a Viva and all, like what technologies we have used and how we are doing the processing and all. So they were pretty much impressed, and it has been a long call, but at the end they were impressed, and they offered an internship at IBM for me.
That's great. So your hard work and everything at the jury award, like you were the winner of that, and that paid off, and you got that opportunity. So like before coming to the other interviews, like the people whom I interviewed, they some of them got offer on campus, some of them applied online and they got it. Okay, but yours is a very new, what you can say, new experience that is shared on this platform. Okay, and you got it from the hackathon. You are a hackathon winner and you got that internship opportunity. So that's great. So I'll just go over to the next question. So before, assume that you didn't got this opportunity. Okay, so before that, coming to the past. Okay, so did you ever thought of getting into IBM? Did you aspire of going into IBM, working at IBM anytime?
No, actually I never thought I would be able to work at IBM, but I had this goal in my mind that I had to work in some MNC like Amazon or Microsoft. but I work similarly to that, like how people get into. I used to see experiences like how people got into Amazon, how people got into Microsoft, and I was preparing based on that. But to answer your question, I never thought I would be able. I will be working in IBM.
Okay, that's great. Okay, so yeah, so as you see, unexpected things happen. Okay, in life, like you, just like you see, you want to get into some opportunity, you don't get it, but you aspire to it. You work hard towards it, and that opportunity is yours. Okay, and in this case, the same thing happened with you as well, and you got that internship opportunity. You never thought of working at IBM, but you aspired of working into MNCs, but that dream came true just because you worked hard for it. You worked hard in that hackathon. You proved those IBM fellows you like deserve to be a candidate. You deserve to join IBM, and you are the right fit for the job. Okay, and that's great. Now I want to, like, once you are selected, I want to ask you your. Can you share your interview experience with our audience, like the rounds and everything?
Yeah, when you talk about rounds, this is again might surprise you. The only round that I had was this online presentation that I talked before. Once the hackathon is over, we had only one online presentation, and I was able to impress them in that online presentation, and that is the only round that I had. Just like I said before, there were some questions on how we did that, and they asked that if they can look at the code and how we wrote the code, and the code was pretty clean, and they were impressed by that only, just by the features that we added to that and to the hackathon project, and the way that we presented the product.
Wow, that's great. Okay, so that's something new. Okay, so you had to go through just one round, and that also, like, you presented it so well. Okay, and you got the internship. Okay, so right now, that was all about the interview thing. Okay, I want to now ask you, like, once you were selected for the 6 months internship. Okay, so you interned with IBM for 6 months. So can you share your internship experience? Like, that would include like details about your project, which team you were part of, and the location. Where were you located?
Okay. Yeah. So I got an internship at IBM India Software Labs. It's in Bangalore, and I worked in a team called IBM Mobile Foundation. So the main thing that IBM Mobile Foundation offers is push notification, analytics, and other security stuff that are required for a mobile app. So I will give a simple example. Most of the people might have used SBI Yono app. Uh, SBI is a customer for IBM Mobile Foundation, and you might have seen a lot of news on that. SBI were able to handle 10 million transactions a day on their app using IBM Mobile Foundation. That is the team that I've worked on. So, in order to share my experience, it has been pretty good. I have learned a lot of things. In my initial stages, to be frank, I struggled a lot. I was very confused. The product was quite huge, and the learning curve is little high on this. But once you get into it, after my first 2 or 3 months, I was able to like feel comfortable over that, and that is when until my first 2 3 months, all my projects were based on prototypes and all, POCs for prototypes and all. The team that I worked with, they got impressed with what I've done, and they started putting me into what we say real life projects, like that actually affects the customers. Whatever code I wrote, that will affect the customer directly.
That's inspiring, and that's amazing as well, as a what you can say, as an intern. Okay, so
Yes.
a lot of people think that how can we make an impact in those 6 months or in those 3 months of internship so that we can get the PPO. Okay, so they are very like, but you worked hard towards it. Okay, you were what you can say, you were working on a lot of other projects as well. You were open to learn. Okay, even if you didn't knew anything, you were in that mindset to like talk to individuals who are there in the company. Okay, so who are there to help you. Okay, but you are also willing to learn. Okay, even if it is a new thing, you also like you had a positive mindset, and you were like, yeah, I want to learn this thing, and I'm surely going to learn it, and I'm going to implement it in further procedures as well. Okay, so that gave you that what you can say motivation to crack the PPO, like that gave you the motivation to perform well in the interview as well as in the internship. Okay, and that's a really good thing. Okay, Now I want to go to the roles and responsibilities part. Okay, I want to ask you, what were your roles and responsibilities as an SE intern for IBM?
So the roles and responsibilities are quite simple. It is like improving the product, adding new functionalities to the existing product. So we work on a lot of mobile and web technologies, including React, Angular, and Ionic, Cordova, and all of this. So the main focus was to improve the existing product and add new functionalities to the product. Uh, just like I told, right, we have something like push notifications, analytics, and all. The way you can scale these things is infinite, and that's the main goal of this role. So I have to add new functionalities and new features that improve user experience and also keep the existing product intact.
That's great. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, and now I would like to like this is a one word question. Okay, so if you were given to describe your whole internship experience in one word, what would it be?
I would say life changing.
Life changing. Why do you feel it is life changing?
Yes, the reason is you get to learn a lot of things. You will see it in yourself once you complete your 6 months, like the things you don't know and the things you know by the end of the internship. So it doesn't mean you can work anywhere. Let's say I did not get my PPO after 6 months. With the skills that I've learned during the internship, you can go anywhere and you will be able to crack the interview. So that is why I call it life changing. It is not like short term learnings or something like that. These are some things that you learn for your life. These are the learnings of your life, I would say. So that is why I termed it as life changing.
Very good. Yeah, that's great. And thanks for sharing that. It would actually help out the audience. Okay, so that is a very good thing you shared. Okay, so even if you are not getting the PPO, okay, you are learning, like in this 6 months you are learning some new technologies, so it would help you in some another industry, okay, in some another company. It's not like if you are doing an internship in IBM, it would like guarantee you a PPO. It would not as well. Okay, so it completely depends upon your caliber. Okay, on the way you contributed. Okay, but in your case, what you can say, you did it in a flow. Okay, you won the hackathon, you did the internship, and finally got the PPO. So it was kind of a list of connected activities which you had. Okay, and that is a very, what you can say, that is a very good thing. Okay, one must do that. Okay, like just like you like did build projects in college. You also did hackathons. You like did all lot of extracurricular activities. Plus you made it a, like what you can say, made an impact in that 6 month internship, which impressed the people in IBM, and then they gave you that opportunity to work full time. Okay, and that's great. Now I would like to go to the next question. I want to ask you, how is the work culture at IBM?
Work culture is very good. You can take advantage of it, and there was nothing like you have to work this many hours this week, this many hours this day. All they look for is completion of the task in the given time. So there was very good freedom over there. What they will look is whether you are completing tasks on time, whether you are putting time on the task, and you are willing to solve that problem. And coming to other things, yes, it is very difficult to find people of my age, like freshers and all. Most of the people are very much experienced. You might feel a little bit uncomfortable at the start, like because people are not your age, and you will be little reluctant to talk to them. But after a few days, you'll get used to it, and you will find it very interesting, because those guys have been working there for like 10 years, 15 years, even 20 years in the same company, and you get to interact with them, you get to learn things from them, and it has been a great experience there. And I think no company will have a work culture like IBM. The way it provides flexibility for the employees and interns. Even for the interns, there was nothing like you have to be these many days present, these many days, this much time. There is completely freedom for you. They will not put pressure on you. All they look for is problem solving.
That's amazing. Okay, and that is IBM. Okay, so a lot of people want to actually get placed in IBM, but what is IBM from your perspective? I got to know, and that's a very good company to start your career with, and that's a very good thing. Okay, and thanks for sharing that. I want to ask you, what skills did you possess which help you convert that internship opportunity into a PPO?
Yeah. So, in order to answer this, the first thing is don't take easy your college learnings. So, frankly speaking, whatever I have learned in my entire engineering helped at some point in my internship. So, whatever, let's say it's operating system, let's say it's networking, someone might be thinking like, I have interest in web development. Why would I need to learn operating systems and all? But frankly speaking, once the project grows bigger and bigger, when you work on enterprise projects, every single learning that you made during your college will make sense for you. So never ever take these college learnings as simple. So keep focus on your college learnings. And uh, as I told, I was learning React and JavaScript in my second year, and that helped me a lot during my internship. I got one project on React, and I was able to do it very quickly. I'm not saying if I haven't learned it, I would not be able to do that. That's not the case. But the way you can do it faster, that happens with all the college learning. Let's say you neglected operating systems and you don't know anything about it, but still you will be able to, once you have the intent to learn, you will be able to do the task. But the thing is, how faster can you do? That's what college helps. It helps in boosting your skills and boosting your knowledge. So what all I've learned in my 3 years of college before joining the internship, everything helped me out. Each and everything, I don't remember anything that is useless. So each and every part of it is helpful for you. It helps in what solving your problems easily.
That's great, and thanks for like what you can say, sharing your skills with us. Okay, now I want to ask you. This is the last question, and then we wrap up with the interview. So, do you want to
Yeah.
give some tips or advices to the future aspirants who are looking to crack that SD role at IBM?
Uh, so once you, I forgot to add a few things in the last thing. So once you get the internship, some might be thinking how I get a PPO, right? In order for that, what you need to show to the team is intent to learn. Whether you are willing to solve the problems, whether you are willing to ask them questions. If you have any questions, don't ever think that these guys are more experienced than me, I can't go and ask them. You should definitely ask whatever questions you have. So that really helps you, and it also helps what we say, help in your career. And they even provide what all learnings you need to take. See, in IBM, what they used to do is, for internship, there is nothing like training yourselves. So what they used to do is they used to provide some required learnings that are required uh, to help convert your internship into PPO. That was really helpful. Now, for future aspirants who wants to crack the interview, so the only thing you need to focus is learning. You should be good at learning things, and you should have the intent to learn new things. The interview, I have talked to people who have actually gone through all the interview process that IBM takes. Uh, all they look for is the basics. You should have the basics. You should have good understanding of computer science, how things work. Let's say how a website works, how whatever code you write gets rendered on the web page, or whatever mobile app that you wrote, how mobile uh, internally contacts to the operating system and all. So you need to know the basics well, and that's what they will look for. And once you have the basics, they will ask a couple of you will have some telephonic interviews and some basic coding questions. Once you have the basics, as I told, it should be very easy for you to crack the interview. And once you get the internship, turning into the PPO is just showing that you just have to show that you are willing to learn and you are willing to solve the problems.
Yeah, that's great. That's some good piece of advice for the people who are watching the video. Okay, and thanks for sharing that. So with this, I would like to conclude the interview, and I want to personally thank you. A big thanks to you for coming here, sharing your experiences, your college experiences, your like what you can say, like participation in hackathons, like your internship experience, interview experience. All the experience you shared was inspiring, and it was very much like I also got to learn a lot of new things about you. Okay, and I want to wish you luck for your future endeavors. Okay, and I want to wish you all the best for your journey at IBM and at any company you go through for like to work for. Okay, you have a good basic knowledge. Okay, you are passionate about things and you know what you want to do in life, and you will do great. Okay, Rahul, And thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. It has been great sharing my experience, and whatever you are doing for with the industry inspire talks is just amazing. I hope more people get to know about it, and you will become very successful in this journey that you're taking. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay. And before going, I would like to ask you, do you want to give some words of motivation to the audience? Because you made it to IBM, it is one of the Fortune 500 companies, and it's really inspiring. And what motivation you want to give to our audience?
What I would say is, uh, what I personally follow is consistency is the key. I believe in consistency is the key. So whatever you are doing, no matter what, let's say you are doing web development, let's say you want to do machine learning, don't think about anything else while you are learning. Things will happen on its own. When you are learning, do it consistently, no matter what other people say. Don't listen to them, whether it be good or bad. Just follow your passion, and things will happen on its own. And just follow your heart and follow your brain. Things will happen on its own.
That's wonderful, and that's also kind of motivation. Thanks for sharing that. Okay, and with this, I would like to wrap with the video. Okay, and if you are watching the video up till now, make sure to like the video, subscribe to this channel. Also, reach out to Rahul. I'll mention the links to his social handles in the description box below, so do check it out. Do reach out to him if you have any questions after watching this video. If you have questions about getting into IBM, if you need any coding assistance, is there to help you. Okay, and that's it for today, guys. I'll see you guys in the next episode of interview series with another person from the industry who's there to inspire you. Until then, keep learning, keep inspiring, keep growing. Thank you.